Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Imani Dillard. I'm the founder of the Imani Dillard Show, and I have another guest live on my YouTube podcast channel and Facebook. His name is Jackiem Joyner, and he is on here. He's going to talk about how he became a jazz musician. He's going to talk about his hometown, and he's going to talk about his tour dates. So first, I want to talk about your hometown. How was it growing up in? Let me say I'm saying it right. Norfolk. No, it's not for Virginia.
Norfolk.
Norfolk. Okay, Norfolk.
Norfolk.
I'm saying it right.
Norfolk.
Say it
Norfolk,
again.
Virginia. Norfolk. Norfolk.
Norfolk. Okay,
Yeah.
Norfolk, Virginia. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So how was it growing up there? And then I want to talk about your jazz career and then your tour dates. But we can talk about your hometown first.
Yeah, I was born in the military town, which is Norfolk, Virginia. For those of you who don't know, Norfolk is home to the largest Navy base in the world. So it's all about military there. We also have Fort Eustis, we have Langley. Um, so, I grew up kind of with a military background with my father and my mother. But I didn't actually start playing the saxophone in Norfolk, believe it or not. Norfolk is, I guess now that I live in Los Angeles, I can look at it as it's a smaller town than I originally thought
Also,
growing
it's
up.
a small town.
Well,
Wow.
it's not a small town. It's
Comparing
not
to where
Los
you live at.
it's not Los Angeles.
Oh, Los Angeles big.
Yeah. So because I was recently there for the Norfolk Jazz Festival. But after living in Norfolk until I was about 13, my mother moved up to Syracuse, New York, and that's where I started playing the saxophone. When I was in Virginia, I was playing drums and singing in the youth choir, doing my thing at the church, and then moved up to New York. Freezing cold, snow, all of that stuff. It's way up there. It's freezing up there, but that's where I started playing saxophone. Um, and that's where I graduated high school. And after graduating high school, Fowler High School in Syracuse, I moved back down to Virginia, and kind of wanted to take the center stage as a saxophonist, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk. So what made you want to be a jazz saxophone musician?
Well, I originally didn't want to play saxophone. Actually, I didn't know that I was going to play the
Oh,
saxophone. I wanted to play the drums in the high school band.
okay.
So
Okay.
everybody wants to play the drums, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, when we went to going into high school, when I made it to high school, I wanted to play the drums for the high school band, and the music teacher said they already have enough drummers. I think I recall him saying they have five drummers. So
Hmm.
he said if you want to be in a high school band, you're going to have to either play a brass instrument or a woodwind instrument. I didn't know what either of them were. The first thing I saw, because he took me to this big band closet, and the band closet is where all of those instruments are, um, where all of the kids leave their instruments. The first thing I saw was a tuba, and I figured that's too big to walk home. Then I saw the trumpet. The trumpet. Um, I figured it only has three valves, so I thought that was kind of limited. Um, then I saw the flute, and I thought the flute was for girls, so I kind of left that one alone. And then I saw this other instrument. I thought it was made of gold, and it had lots and lots of buttons. From my imagination, it was floating on a cloud, and there was a rainbow going over it, and there was choir singing from the heavens and sparkles flying everywhere. I asked the music teacher, "What is that?" And he said, "Well, that young sir is a saxophone." So I said, "Teach me how to play that." He gave me a tape, and on the tape, um, he said, "Take a listen to the tape." And I took the tape home. On the tape was Grover Washington Jr., Charlie Parker, Cannonball, John Coltrane. I didn't know who they were. I just put the tape in and was playing it. Tape.
Wow.
Some people don't even
Mhm.
know what a cassette tape is.
Yeah.
But and I kind of, just had this connection with the instrument, and completely forgot about the drums and was just sold by the saxophone. And 14 years old, that's when I started, and I just kept going practicing. That's my saxophone story. That's how I
Yeah.
started.
See, drums give you a good sound, but something about a saxophone, it make you feel like, "Ooh, I wanna
Mhm.
hear that again," because every time you listen to, like, you mentioned the great legends who left a great legacy, and I know you was like, "Oh, okay, this is what I wanna do." Yeah, like you said, Charlie Parker, so everything
Yeah.
changed after that when you was listening to them.
Um, are you there?
Okay. Okay, okay. So let's talk about your songs. I'm missing you. Let's talk about that single. Something happened. Oops. Uh,
Okay.
I don't know what happened. Maybe it's bad connection.
Yeah. What were you saying? Something
I
about.
was saying that when you play the drums, it give you a nice sound,
Mm.
but when you play the saxophone, it's a whole different story, especially like you said, you didn't want to play the saxophone, but when you was listening to the two great legends who left a great legacy, who's not here anymore, Charlie Parker, and then you said I forgot what you said because it went off. It froze. It froze.
Yeah, I said, John
Charlie Parker
Coltrane.
and John
Charlie.
Coltrane. Yeah, when you said John Coltrane, that mean when you said that the video
Oh,
froze.
okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so when you listen to them, everything changed after that. So I guess you felt like, okay, I want to play the saxophone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, the saxophone is a very special instrument.
It
It takes
is. It's
takes
very
skill to
yeah.
make it sound good. It's not as easy as
Mhm.
people might think. When I
Yeah.
started playing, the first week wasn't the best to be around because I was
Right, right, right.
playing
When I'm
really
glad
good.
you chose saxophone because I was listening to some of your songs. I was like, man, he's a genius. You know,
Thank
you
you.
are a genius.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
And
much.
I love all of your songs. And I
Oh,
want to
wow.
talk about your single, I'm Missing You. Yeah.
Yeah, missing you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell us
missing
the
you
story about
was
Missing You. Yeah.
yeah. So missing you. So right now I've got about 8 albums out that I put out.
Okay.
I've had quite a few singles since then. My first single, "Stay With Me Tonight," came out in 2007, featuring a guitar player named Peter White. It was my first time hearing myself on the radio in 2007, so it was a big deal for
Wow.
me. My second album, called Little Man Soul, I put out the first single from that, called "I'm Waiting for You," which went to #1 on the Billboard chart. And then I followed that up with another single called "Take Me There," which also went to #1. This was back in 2009. And then my most recent single, "Missing You," went to #1.
Okay.
Um, and that was kind of a bit of a surprise. It was unexpected because when I was writing and producing the song, um, I couldn't figure out how to find the magic. And I honestly, I tabled the song for about a year, and then came back to it with some new energy, new experiences, and put all of that into that song. And it went to the radio, and it went straight to #1. Um, and it's a song that I wrote, so most of all of the music that you hear, I write because I love writing music. I love composing music. I love the process of putting music together. So Missing You's got that 70s, old school 70s vibe,
Mhm.
R&B, but it's got strings in it. It feels a little bit funky, wah wah guitar, but but a full string section and then saxophone kind of leading. As soon as you put the song on, it kind of gives you a Teddy Pendergrass feel, or with the strings. So that was really fun to do. It's the first time I've done anything like that. So it's a really, really, really fun song. So people should check it out. Missing You.
Oh yeah, and it's available on all platforms. You can download it on your Apple Music, YouTube Music, and
Mhm.
iTunes.
Absolutely, it's everywhere.
iTunes, yes, yeah. And also, I love this song. It's called Sweetness.
Oh, sweet.
Sweetness. And I also love Dance with Me, Stay with Me Tonight. Yeah. Yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
those songs. Yeah, I
Oh
love
wow.
hearing
So Sweetness, that song, my most recent full album that came out in 2019 called Touch.
okay.
Touch, that album is more of a sensual, grown and sexy kind of album. So Sweetness is something that I wrote. It's got like a nice R&B vibe to it. It's got a little bit of trap to it, a little bit. So a lot of people really dig it. It's one of my favorite songs. And then I think you also mentioned "Dance with Me." So "Dance with Me" was a
Yeah.
pretty big song of mine a while ago, back in 2010, I believe. And that song I wrote after traveling to Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico, because the song kind of has this. It's got this four on the floor club beat that's kind of like a Latin feel too at the same time, and then I'm
Mhm.
playing soprano saxophone. So when I went to after a show in Guadalajara, we went to a salsa club, and I couldn't dance. So so I came back with this energy and put it in Dance with Me, but I put my own kind of a R&B feel to it. So and Dance with Me turned out to be a really popular song for me. And then you mentioned "Stay with Me Tonight." Of course, that
Mhm.
was my very first song to ever go to radio back in 2007. People still love that song. It's still a great song. I wrote it probably a few years before I became a national artist, which I put my first album out in 2007 called Baby Soul, which features Stay With Me
Oh yeah,
Tonight.
I
But
heard that. Yeah.
I wrote Stay With Me Tonight before moving to California. So when I moved to California, I was working a job. I was driving forklifts and stuff like that while writing that song and finishing
Mhm.
it up. So
So how does it feel to be a full-time jazz musician? How is the environment doing that?
well, I mean, I kind of call myself a I play jazz, I play gospel, I play
Oh,
R&B.
yeah, I listen to some of your gospel
Um,
songs. I
yeah,
love it.
so
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a lot of different places. Anything that's passionate that the audience can feel that I can deliver on the saxophone. That's kind of
Mhm.
my thing. But um, yeah, I mean, I think the last time I had a regular job was back in 2006.
Mhm.
So I've been doing this now for a long time, performing and touring. Been to some amazing countries, including Japan,
Overseas. Yeah.
Germany, all over the Bahamas. I've even been to some interesting countries like Russia and
Okay. What is your
Ukraine.
favorite place to go in
I think
overseas?
right now, still currently, Japan has the
Oh,
has the
Japan.
gold right now.
I heard great things about Japan. Tell me about Japan. Why Japan is I mean, because I understand when Black musicians go to overseas, they get treated so good, and I always
Yeah,
hear about Japan, Germany, yeah, I hear about Cuba's good, but most musicians go to Japan and the places yeah, Japan and Germany. Tell me about those 2 places, why jazz musicians love going to Japan and,
it's
and
it's so
Germany to
interesting
play there.
because in Japan, they really love soul music. They
Okay.
love musicians and artists that
Okay.
perform like, from that place.
Mhm.
So they really have a deep sense of respect for
Okay.
creatives and musicians. So When I went over there, I toured with Keiko Matsui, who is another jazz pianist. She's actually from there, and it's just amazing to see, like you said, how they treat you. It's
Mhm.
one thing. There's a lot of reverence and respect that's given to you as an artist, and they always put you first, which is quite amazing. The food is good. The hospitality is really good. Everything is really organized in Japan. Everything is clean, so everything is on time. But also you get that urban city vibe like New York City, in Tokyo.
Wow.
So it's like a full on city. I mean, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, it's still lit outside. There's so many people out.
2 in the
Um,
morning, they still out.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's like, yeah, because they have the train stations, all the different sushi places and food.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like, if you go to Manhattan, and you go to Tokyo, they're very much similar, except for I would say Tokyo's a bit safer. But I would probably say there's more people out and about in Tokyo than in Manhattan.
Wow.
So that's kind of the feel.
Okay.
If you can imagine that, it's very close. Everything is in close quarters. Everybody's close. A guy like me, I'm 6'4", so I'm pretty much taller than
I
everybody
can tell
there.
you're tall. Yeah.
So, and in Germany, of course, the air is really clean there. They love music just the same. They love soul music. They love artists that perform, from the heart, and they treat you amazing. So um, both countries, I've been back several times.
Awesome. And the reason why I asked you that, how does it feel to be a full-time jazz musician? Because sometimes it's not easy,
Yeah. Oh,
because
it's not easy.
because it's not easy. And I love talking to people who are entrepreneurs.
Mm,
It's like people say it's hard to be entrepreneur. I say it's hard to work with people. I say it's hard to um be a employee. I'm saying?
yeah,
Employee and
yeah,
entrepreneur is different.
yep,
Entrepreneur, you're on your own. Employee, you work for
exactly.
somebody, so it's no difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yep,
so I love talking to people. I enjoy talking to people being an entrepreneur because if they can do it, you can do it. You just have to
exactly.
do it. You know
Yeah, I mean, it's like, honestly, it's like, I mean, it's no more secure working a regular job than it is
exactly.
really working for yourself. Um,
Hmm.
you know, you do have to have, you got to be smart. You got to hustle.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, you have to take your whatever it is, whatever business that you're doing. You got to take it seriously, and you got to
Hmm.
put the time in it that it's going to require. And you got to learn everything that you can learn about whatever business it is that you're doing. You want to be, the top in your game, whether
Hmm.
it's playing the sax like me or whatever it is that you're doing. There's always an audience for you. There's always an audience of people that want to buy whatever it is that you could potentially selling, whether it's a service like, for me, I perform, but it could be other things, so I love the world of entrepreneur because I get to set the pace for where I want to go.
Hmm.
And
You are
I'm a
your own
driven,
boss.
I'm my own boss, but some people are good at being their own boss, others aren't. I would say if you're going to be your own boss, really, really be your own boss, meaning that you got
Hmm.
to hold yourself accountable.
Hmm.
Whatever plans and stuff like that you put on the board, you got to stick to it. You got to stick to the habits and different things like that. If you do that, eventually you'll find, um, you know, your audience. So
Awesome.
exactly. You set your own time, set your own pace, like, what I do. And then eventually, like, I've created songs and written songs, and those songs go out and they earn for me. So and that's what a business is supposed to do.
Mhm.
Divide your time from your earning.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, it's some questions I want to ask you. Who will you say that gives you some of the best business advice?
Oh, wow. First would be probably Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I just love his, Rich Dad Poor Dad book. It's still one of my favorite books. I think everyone should read Rich Dad Poor Dad
What's
for
his name again?
Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay. Okay.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. He talked about it on Oprah, I believe, a long, long time ago. Also, Brian Tracy is another one.
Tracy.
Brian
Okay.
Tracy, he's really good when it comes to setting goals and sticking to habits when it comes to your business.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever goal, he's just really good at how to execute your goals daily and set targets and timelines, where Robert Kiyosaki focuses on the difference between, um, an asset and a liability, and earning with your time versus money working for you. So I think that everyone should check both of them out.
Okay.
Brian Tracy, check out Brian Tracy, and check out Robert Kiyosaki. Everyone should read Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's a must for anybody that wants to do any business or anything. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad, because Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches you the ways of money, in a way that you can understand. Because a lot of us, we grew up with parents that um, don't really think as big, so, and they kind of have a, you know, scarcity mindset, where an abundance mindset, and understanding how money works, taxes, and different things like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
my two favorite.
Okay, okay. So if a young person came up to you and say that I want to be a jazz saxophone musician like you, what kind
Mhm,
of words of wisdom you will tell them why it's important to have good people around them, why it's important to manage their money,
mhm.
and um, why it's good to read contracts very carefully because and the reason I ask that because every time you hear somebody's story, some people's story, they
Mhm,
sign these contracts and it's not
mhm.
legit. And some people get
Yeah.
that $1 million check and they blow it up. You know what I'm saying? So I always ask people that why it's so
Well,
important to
number one,
manage your
they
money,
wouldn't make
be careful.
that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't actually make that if they read Rich Dad Poor Dad. They wouldn't have made the mistake that you just mentioned.
I'm
First of
gonna look
all,
him up.
so
So he has a book online.
Rich Dad Poor Dad is the name of the book.
Oh,
His
that's the name of the book.
main
Where you can buy it
is
at?
Rich Anywhere. It's everywhere.
Anywhere?
It's one
Oh.
of the most popular books out there. Also, Think and Grow Rich by
Oh.
Napoleon Hill. These are classic books
Oh,
um,
wow. So
that
it teaches
everyone.
you everything about the business.
Well, yeah, but it's just structured in a way that it's not like, for instance, it's not like teaching you how to invest or stock market. It's really just reframing your mind how to think about money, which is good for people in our community.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, if you read Rich Dad Poor Dad and then went into contracts and stuff like that, you would you would miss a lot of areas because of how it reframes your mind. But your question is if someone wanted to be a saxophone player,
Like jazz music.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
the first thing I would ask, first of all, are they a saxophone player? Are they good? Are they playing? Are they
Mhm.
practicing? Is it something that they really, really want to do, or do they want to do it because they just like the lights and cameras, or do they really want
Mhm.
to do it? Do they really want to be good? Because it's not easy. You do have to practice and put a lot of time and effort in. Um, some people look for an easy shortcut when it comes to being a good artist. But honestly, there really isn't a shortcut. You just have to put the time in. And
Mhm.
if you can put the time in, and if you're consistent in putting the time in, it's going to help you in many, many other areas. Because if you have the discipline to practice for what it takes to actually be a good musician, you'll more than likely have the discipline to do a lot of other things to help you when you are trying to make it in the
Mhm.
business. So practice and be good at what you do first, and we'll get to the contracts and stuff like that later. We live in an age of information, so there isn't any reason why you're not able to find information about anything. I mean, we have AI and different things like that, contracts and all of this stuff can be read. And you don't even, the thing about record companies is it's not a lot of record companies out there that are signing artists anyway. So it's going to really be up to you um,
Mhm.
as the artist to make it happen. And there's a lot of tools out there to do it nowadays, much more than say 10 or 15 years ago. You can reach everybody in the world with your song instantly. We didn't used to be able to do that, so
Okay. Okay. So I think everybody should buy that book then.
yes, Rich Dad Poor Dad, of course. Anybody
Okay.
that's an entrepreneur has to read that.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna look that up. Okay. Send me that information so I can share
Yeah,
it.
Imma send it to you, Imma send it to you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, if you put out if you ever put out a new single or a new album, who are the songwriters, producers you want to be a part of your, music project?
Well, I mean, in a perfect world, I love Stevie Wonder, and I mean, there's
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, if
Stevie.
you ask me, like,
Oh,
who would
yes.
I like versus who would I have?
I can see
Um,
you guys playing together. I can see him playing the piano. I can see it right now. I see the vision. You playing the saxophone, he's playing the piano and singing, and you I would love to see you guys in tour
I think
together.
Stevie
That would be
I
an
think
awesome tour,
I
concert tour. I can see you
I
guys
think
playing together.
I think Stevie would enjoy it more than he thinks.
Oh, yeah, because he
Of course,
still got it.
oh,
You're a
yeah,
genius, and he's beyond genius. He's a
yeah.
genius
He
musician.
doesn't even know how much he's affected my songwriting,
Right,
like, just
right.
years of
Yeah.
songwriting that he's it's always nice to have artists like Stevie where,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
affecting so many musicians and producers in ways that they, you
Mhm.
know, for me, really for me, but then, of course, the Jacksons, Michael Jackson, um,
Oh.
all of them, it's Quincy Jones music, it's music
Mhm.
producer and stuff like that. Um, the list really kinda goes
Goes
on.
on and on. Okay, okay. Okay, so what are the name of the resources, everybody can find you at?
Well, I'm at Jackiem Joyner pretty much everywhere, so
Okay,
they can see how to spell my name. Instagram at Jackiem Joyner, that's my tag. My website is jackiemjoyner.com, and you can connect with me. You can send a message. I'm reachable.
okay, okay. Last question, let's talk about your tour dates. Coming up
Okay,
tour,
yes.
yeah, Joaquin will be on tour this year, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
saw that.
my next stop will be Boston. Um,
Okay,
Everybody knows Berkeley School of Music is there, but I'll be
Boston.
at Scullers, which is a jazz club.
Okay,
Um, it's a kind of premier jazz club that a lot of people know. Um, I'll be performing there. I'll be in Travelers Rest, South Carolina. In September, I'm also going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm headed to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. I'll be in Oakland. I'll be in Houston. Um, I'll be in DC. I'll be in California, Seal Beach, California. So go to my website, Jackiem Joyner, see my tour schedule. I might be coming to a city near you.
alright, so make sure you guys keep your eye on, Joaquin, I'm saying your name, Joaquin?
Jackiem, that's right.
Joaquin,
Yeah.
social media, because
Yes.
he will be on tour this year and next year too?
Oh, every year. I've been
Every
touring for
year?
many
Every year?
years.
I have to check you out. Okay, Imma
Yeah,
keep my
yeah,
eye on it. Yeah, I'll let
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
'Cause I love
absolutely.
'cause I love jazz. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. That's
I've
like
been to Ohio a couple of times.
Ohio? Which
Akron,
area?
Ohio. I've been to Akron, Ohio. I was
Ooh.
recently, and I was at what was this place called? The Garage, something. Ludlow Garage, which is in Cincinnati, Ohio. I
Oh,
was there this year.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and I was there last year as
okay.
well. So
Alright, okay.
yeah,
Awesome, awesome. So make sure you guys follow him on social media. He's like one of the best jazz musician in the industry. Yes, and we need more jazz artists. Yeah, you put jazz on the map. Mhm. I'm
thank you,
glad you yeah. So I'm just
thank you.
glad that you listened to the 2 great legends, John Coltrane, yeah,
Oh yeah,
and Charlie
of course.
Parker. I'm glad that you chose saxophone because
Thank you.
like I said before, you're a genius. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you.
If you don't mind, if you're able to, can you play one of your songs if you're able to?
I am not prepared.
You're not prepared? It's okay. We'll do it next time. We'll
Yeah,
do
maybe
next
next
time. So
time.
I was honored to have a great legend on the Amani Dillard show, Jackiem Joyner, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks. This
And
has been
good
a
luck
pleasure.
on tour. Be safe coming back and
Absolutely.
going there and coming back. Be safe. And yeah, thank you for sharing your story. I really appreciate it. And thank you
Thank you.
for supporting the Imani Dillard show.
Thank you. This has been a pleasure.
Yes,
Thanks.
I was honored to have you on here. All right. You have a great weekend.